They found him in bed, still, silent. A rooming house at 427 and a half Elm Street in Helena, Arkansas. It was May 25th, 1965, and the man the world knew as Sonny Boy Williamson had missed his broadcast. 12:15 came and went. The King Biscuit Time theme played without him. Pet Curtis walked through the quiet streets, climbed the stairs, knocked on the door. No answer. Inside, the man who had stolen a name, built a legend, and changed blues history forever was gone. Heart attack sometime in the night, the harmonica on the nightstand, the lights finally quiet. But this isn't a story about an ending. It's about one of the most audacious acts of identity theft in music history and how a plantation-born trickster became one of the greatest bluesmen who ever lived. If you love uncovering hidden legends like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to Legends Underrated. And tell me in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? The boy born Aleck Ford came into the world around December 5th, 1912, on a plantation in Glendora, Mississippi. His mother, Millie Ford, was a sharecropper. His father's identity remains unclear. The child who would become Sonny Boy Williamson II grew up in Tallahatchie County, a place soaked in cotton, violence, and the casual brutality of Jim Crow. This was the same county where, decades later, Emmett Till would be murdered. The plantation owner, a man named Selwyn Jones, was notorious enough that Mississippi's governor called him out in 1915 for mistreating black workers. Young Aleck grew up watching, learning that survival meant cunning. They called him Rice. The nickname came from his love of rice and milk, the simple food that kept him alive. His stepfather, Jim Miller, gave the boy his last name, Aleck Miller. Rice Miller, Little Boy Blue. By his teenage years, he discovered the one thing that could take him away from the cotton fields, a harmonica. He taught himself. Church gatherings, street corners, anywhere he could blow those reeds and make people feel something. He was good, more than good. He could make a harmonica cry, shout, whisper secrets. By the 1930s, Rice Miller was drifting Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, playing juke joints and house parties, sometimes with Robert Johnson, sometimes with Elmore James. Willie Dixon remembers seeing him in Greenville, Mississippi, playing for tips with Robert Lockwood Jr. Rice had tricks. He'd put the entire harmonica in his mouth and play with no hands. People would stop and stare. This was a man who understood that blues wasn't just music, it was theater, survival, performance. But Rice Miller had a problem. He was talented, yes, but in the Delta blues world of the late 30s, there was already a Sonny Boy Williamson, the real one. John Lee Curtis Williamson, born in Jackson, Tennessee in 1914. By 1937, John Lee Williamson had recorded Good Morning, Schoolgirl for Bluebird Records. It became a hit. The man from Tennessee had popularized the blues harmonica as a lead instrument. His name meant something. His name sold records. Rice Miller watched and waited. November 21st, 1941, KFFA radio station in Helena, Arkansas, goes on the air. Rice Miller and his friend Robert Lockwood Jr. approached the station owner, Sam Anderson, with a pitch. Let us do a blues radio show. Anderson likes the idea, but says they need a sponsor. He sends them to Max Moore, who owns Interstate Grocery Company. Moore agrees to sponsor the show to sell his King Biscuit flour. There's just one condition. They have to endorse his product. The show is called King Biscuit Time, broadcast, 12:15 p.m., right when Delta workers break for lunch. And here's where history gets murky. Someone decides Rice Miller should be introduced as Sonny Boy Williamson. Was it Moore's idea, trying to capitalize on the Chicago Star's name? Was it Rice's own scheme? No one knows for certain. But on that November day, Rice Miller becomes Sonny Boy Williamson on the radio, while the real Sonny Boy Williamson is still alive. Still recording in Chicago, still building his legend. The show is a phenomenon. King Biscuit Time reaches 50 to 80 miles across the Delta. Workers tune in during lunch. Interstate groceries, flour sales explode. By 1947, they're putting Rice Miller's face on bags of Sonny Boy cornmeal, his image printed on thousands of bags, distributed across the South. The King Biscuit entertainers grow to include Pine Top Perkins, Houston Stackhouse, Peck Curtis, Willie Love, their stars. And at the center of it all is a man using someone else's name. John Lee Williamson knows. Of course he knows. In Chicago, the real Sonny Boy hears about this Delta musician stealing his identity. But what can he do? Miller stays in the South. Williamson stays in the North. The music industry is fragmented enough that two Sonny Boy Williamsons can exist in separate worlds for a while. Then came June 1st, 1948. John Lee Williamson plays a show at the Plantation Club on Chicago's South Side. It's late. He walks home. A block and a half from his house, someone attacks him. Robbery. Murder. The man who pioneered blues harmonica as a lead instrument dies on a Chicago street at 34 years old. His last words, "Lord have mercy." And Rice Miller? He seizes the moment. With the original Sonny Boy dead, Miller starts claiming he was always the first Sonny Boy Williamson, that John Lee had stolen the name from him. It's a complete reversal of the truth. But who's gonna challenge a radio star? By 1951, when Rice Miller finally enters a recording studio for the first time, it's been 3 years since John Lee's death. The path is clear. Lillian McMurray owns Trumpet Records in Jackson, Mississippi. She's heard Miller on the radio. She brings him in to record in August 1951. The session produces Eyesight to the Blind, Mighty Long Time, 9 Below Zero. The credits read, Sonny Boy Williamson, no questions asked. Miller has successfully stolen a dead man's identity and made it his own. He's 50-something years old, finally recording, and he sounds nothing like the original. His tone is fuller, darker, more theatrical, but the name works. The name sells. Stories like these are why I build Legends Underrated. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more untold legends. Trumpet Records goes bankrupt in 1955. Chess Records in Chicago buys Miller's contract. He starts recording for their subsidiary, Checker Records, in August 1955. His first session produces Don't Start Me Talkin'. The band backing him includes Muddy Waters and Jimmy Rogers on guitar, Otis Spann on piano, Willie Dixon on bass, Fred Below on drums. The song is brilliant, sly, knowing, full of double meanings. It climbs to number 3 on the Billboard R&B charts. His biggest hit, finally, at over 40 years old, Sonny Boy Williamson II is a star in his own right. The songs keep coming. Keep It to Yourself hits number 14 in 1956. Fattening Frogs for Snakes in 1957. Your Funeral and My Trial. One Way Out. These aren't covers or adaptations. These are original compositions showcasing Miller's gift for metaphor, wordplay, wisdom wrapped in Delta blues poetry. By 1963, Help Me reaches number 24. That same year, Chess releases his first LP, Down and Out Blues. Between 1955 and 1964, he records about 70 songs for Checker, every one credited to Sonny Boy Williamson. The theft is complete, the legend is real. But America isn't enough. not for a man who spent his whole life reaching for more. 1963. Europe is in the grip of blues fever. Young British kids are obsessed with American blues records, trying to recreate the sounds coming from Chicago and the Delta. German promoters Horst Lippmann and Fritz Rau organized the American Folk Blues Festival, bringing legendary black musicians to European stages. Sonny Boy Williamson II is on the roster. September through October 1963, he tours Europe with the festival. The audiences are massive, reverent, hungry for authenticity, and Williamson gives them a show. He's a showman by nature, but in Europe, he becomes something more. He has a custom two-tone suit tailored, a bowler hat, a matching umbrella, an attaché case for his harmonicas. He looks like a British gentleman playing Delta blues with a wink and a grin. Young British rock bands are forming, obsessed with blues. The Yardbirds, the Animals. These kids have been studying chess records like scripture. When they hear Sonny Boy Williamson is in England, they can't believe it. Giorgio Gomelski, the Yardbirds manager, arranges for them to back Williamson on several dates between December 1963 and February 1964. December 8th, 1963, the Crawdaddy Club in Richmond, Surrey, the Yardbirds, with a 20-year-old Eric Clapton on guitar, set up to back the blues master. At rehearsal, Clapton tries to impress Williamson with his knowledge, asking, "Isn't your real name Rice Miller?" Williamson just looks at him. They work out the set. Stops, breaks, tempos. That night, Williamson drinks Scotch whiskey throughout the performance. The Yardbirds struggle to keep up. He changes the arrangements mid-song, leaving the young British boys scrambling. The recording captures it all. The chaos, the genius, Williamson's harmonica soaring over their frantic attempts to follow. Is released in 1966 as Sonny Boy Williamson and the Yardbirds. A document of the moment, blues jumped the Atlantic. Williamson also records with the Animals on December 30th, 1963. More young British rockers in awe of the old Delta master. He tells a journalist his assessment of these British blues bands. Those British boys want to play the blues real bad, and they do. It's both compliment and critique. They want it, they play it, but it's real bad. He loves Europe, the respect, the money, the audiences who see him as an artist, not just entertainment. He considers staying permanently in England. In 1964, he records "I'm Trying to Make London My Home" with Hubert Sumlin on guitar. The title says everything, but home called him back. 1965, Sonny Boy Williamson II returns to Helena, Arkansas. He's in his early 50s, though no one knows his exact age because he's lied about it for decades. He resumes his spot on King Biscuit Time, 12:15, 5 days a week, the show that made him famous, the show built on a stolen name. Houston Stackhouse and Peck Curtis are with him. The old crew, the King Biscuit Entertainers, still going strong. May 24th, 1965, the night is quiet in Helena. Sonny Boy Williamson goes to sleep in his rooming house at 427.5 Elm Street. Sometime in the darkness, his heart stops. 52 or 53 years old, depending on which of his lies you believe. The man who lied about his name, his age, his history, dies alone in a small Arkansas town. May 25th, 12:15 approaches. Stackhouse and Curtis are at the KFFA studios, ready for the broadcast. Williamson doesn't show 12:15, 12:20, 12:30. Peck Curtis leaves the station, walks through Helena's streets to the rooming house, climbs the stairs, knocks, no answer. He finds the body, This twist shocked the world. And if you never want to miss stories like this, make sure you're subscribed to Legends Underrated. And don't forget to like the video if this story moved you. They buried him just outside Tutwiler, Mississippi, at the site of the former Whitfield Baptist Church Cemetery. For years, the grave was unmarked. Then in 1977, Lillian McMurray, the woman who first recorded him for Trumpet Records, placed a headstone. But even in death, the lies continue. The stone reads, Aleck Miller, better known as Willie Sonny Boy Williamson, born March 11th, 1908, died June 23rd, 1965. Every date is wrong. Born around 1912. Died May 24th, 1965. The stone itself is another layer of myth. But here's the truth that matters. Sonny Boy Williamson II was a thief who became a king. He stole another man's name. Yes, an audacious act of deception that would define his entire career. But he took that stolen name and made music that transcended the lie. Don't Start Me Talkin, Help Me, Bring It On Home, One Way Out. These songs became blues standards, covered by Led Zeppelin, the Allman Brothers Band, The Who, countless others. Eric Clapton, who backed him that night in Richmond, went on to call him one of the most influential musicians he ever encountered. In 1980, both Sonny Boy Williamsons were inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame. The original and the impostor, the murdered man and the man who profited from his death, together in history, forever linked by a name that one man created and another stole. Rice Miller spent his whole life lying about his age, his name, his origins, but his harmonica never lied. When he played, something honest poured out. Pain, wisdom, the weight of a life lived in the margins, clawing for survival, using every trick to stay alive and relevant. He was a con man and a genius, a thief and an innovator, a man who understood that in the blues world, sometimes survival meant becoming someone else. The cornmeal bags with his face are collector's items now. The King Biscuit Blues Festival in Helena still honors his memory. The recordings endure, and somewhere in Mississippi, a grave with the wrong dates marks the resting place of a man the world never really knew. Not his real birthday, not his real story, just the music, the harmonica, the voice. The legend built on a beautiful, terrible lie. Sonny Boy Williamson II, Rice Miller, Little Boy Blue, a man of many names who stole the most famous one and made it immortal.